Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. In the Kingdom of the Whole, the Great Priest and High Priest Daishinkan was observing the 12 universes so that they are in total order. However, he would be interested in a Saiyan woman from Universe 7, for which reason he observed her very often. Being one of the most powerful beings in all the universes, I should not be intimidated by any women, so I'll go confront her. Daishinkan, he would quickly arrive to the planet Vegeta, and as his power was so great, he would not be noticed by anyone. Only Gine was able to observe him, being very surprised to notice a being very different from the Saiyans. Who are you? Why do I feel strange energy emitting from your body? I know this is a lot of information for a mortal like you, but I am much more than a god. I am known as the Great Priest, and I have been captivated with his beauty. Gine would be very surprised by Daishinkan's words. I don't understand. Do gods really exist? Some time ago, a rumor went viral, which was said that a god had humiliated King Vegeta and even the Great Frieza. That's right, the gods really exist, but I am even much higher on a larger scale than the gods. Instantly, Bardock would have arrived from a mission Gine was not able to notice, but Daishinkan would quickly disappear. Oh damn, I'm feeling too tired. Gine, can you give me something to eat? Please, I'm starving. The food on the planet we destroyed was crap. Of course, Bardock. Gine, is there something wrong with you? It looks like you've seen a ghost. No, Bardock, nothing's wrong with me. It's just your stuff. While after a while, Daishinkan would continue to resort to the planet Vegeta much more often. However, in one of their many encounters, Gine had become pregnant, which would be very scared because she knew that in case Bardock realized it would end her life. Come with me to the Kingdom of the All. You'll lack absolutely nothing, and I will personally take care of protecting you from everything. No, Dai, I can't do it. The world you belong to is very different from my world, so I'm not able to do anything to go with you. I hope you understand me. I understand. In that case, I'll not let my son's life be in danger. Daishinkan, with his great angelic power, was able to change the entire physical trait of the Saiyan baby. That's right, Daishinkan would make him look totally like Bardock. Even if that child you are carrying in your womb has the appearance of the Saiyan Bardock, through his body runs the Saiyan blood on your part and the angelic energy. Daishinkan would leave to the Kingdom of the Whole while analyzing everything that happened. However, he would be taken out of his thoughts upon hearing the voice of his king. Daishinkan, I need you to investigate the borders of our universes, because one of the Guardians has detected an anomaly on the outskirts of our 12 universes. I understand, great Zeno-sama. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Daishinkan would leave to perform the mission that the great Zeno-sama had granted him, which he thought would be a simple mission, but it turned out very different because the moment he arrived, he was able to realize how beings from other multiverses were about to enter his multiverse. Damn spies. Now I'll finish with every one of you. I've had a lousy day and you'll be my beating toys. Daishinkan quickly in one move was able to finish off 10 of them, and at the moment a big explosion would be created all over the place. However, 2 of them quickly merged, appearing an extremely powerful being, which even left Daishinkan a little surprised. Separately, they're rubbish, but I can tell that when joined their powers increase a little. Don't make fun of us. With the power that we'll be able to finish you garbage. We don't care that you're a priest. Our king is much more powerful. That battle was legendary, since the power of both of them was so much that even both kings were able to feel such a beastly power. That's the power of Daishinkan! Guardians, right away, come on! Zeno-sama would arrive at the battlefield, realizing as Daishinkan was with multiple wounds, while his opponent had been reduced to simple atoms with Daishinkan's energy reserve. At the moment, a demon would appear in front of Zeno-sama. I don't care how long it takes us, but I assure you that we will conquer your whole damn dwarf multiverse. The Queen of all Toa would disappear from the place, while they would take Daishinkan quickly to recover. Meanwhile, several months had already passed, in which even the Great Priest was still out of combat for such an incredible combat. However, in all that time, the evil Emperor Frieza was organizing everything to destroy the planet Vegeta. Bardock, realizing this, would take Kakarot, sending him to planet Earth. Bardock, a weak Saiyan, but with unwavering pride, tried to face Frieza. Being impossible for him, however, before the planet is completely destroyed, Gine would communicate telepathically with Daishinkan. It's been months since our last conversation. I don't know absolutely anything about you, Dai, but I hope you can raise our son Kakarot is heading to planet Earth. I love you, Dai. Instantly, the whole planet Vegeta would remain in simple cosmic dust of the universe. Daishinkan would wake up at the moment, being very confused by everything.
Dai, how are you feeling? You've been out of action for months.
For months? What has happened to my son? What was that communication a few moments ago with Gine? All of this would think Daishinkan, who would quickly leave to Universe 7, realizing how the place where the planet Vegeta was, there was absolutely nothing. Daishinkan was about to explode with anger. However, he remembered his little son, remembering that he would be sent to planet Earth. Daishinkan, being a supreme angel, was able to intercept the ship, realizing how the little Kakarot emanated an incredible divine power. You will be an amazing warrior. I plan to introduce you to the king of all Zeno-sama. I'm sure he'll like you very much. Daishinkan, with the little Kakarot, they would leave for the Kingdom of the Whole, and when they arrived, Zeno-sama together with both Guardians were very surprised to realize that Daishinkan was with a child in his arms.
Daishinkan? Who's that child?
Great Zeno-sama, I don't know if you really exiled me, but this little boy is my son. The son between a mortal and a divine being. The Guardians were much more surprised by the incredible revelation of Daishinkan.
I didn't expect that, Daishinkan, but don't worry. You risked your life in the last mission. The least I could do is that your son lives in this place.
I really thank you, great Zeno-sama. You don't know how happy it makes me to hear that.
Don't worry, Dai.
That was how that little Saiyan was raised by the most powerful beings of all the universes. However, the level of learning of that Saiyan child was incredible. Since with only being 8 years old, he was already able to master the divine phases of the Super Saiyan Blue and was even able to give battle to a god of destruction.
Father, I want to become much more powerful. I want to be one of the most powerful beings in all the universes as well as you are.
My little Kakarot, your mother would be very proud of you because at such a young age, you are much more powerful than all the Saiyans, and you're even at the level of comparing yourself to gods of destruction, which they have trained for millions of years. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, more specifically on the planet of Beerus, he would wake up very altered. What the hell was that dream? How am I supposed to be the great Beerus and the most powerful god of all universes to be defeated by a simple Saiyan?
Mr. Beerus, are you alright? He has woken up much earlier than planned.
I don't know if that was a premonition or a fucking nightmare, but I have dreamed that I would be defeated by a Saiyan god.
Ho, Mr. Beerus, your premonitions are not very effective, let's say. And secondly, after the destruction of the planet Vegeta, only 3 Saiyans were left alive, which their powers are incredibly low.
I don't have to worry about that dream was so real. What the God of Destruction didn't know was that a simple 8-year-old Saiyan had the power to face him. Not to defeat him, but to give him battle, because through his body he traveled the 2 most powerful bloods of all the universes, the Saiyan blood and the angelic blood. Returning to the Kingdom of All, Kakarot, in his free time, he used to play with the great Zeno-sama. However, in these simple trainings, the power likewise increased, having to have the required level not to be eliminated by any of his attacks. While they were both having fun, Daishinkan would say to himself, when Kakarot turns 15, I'll take him to face the Supreme God. I want to see what this distance between my gifted son from a Supreme God. Kakarot and Daishinkan continued to train very hard for these 7 years, in which Kakarot was able to even master the ultra-perfect instinct at such a young age. My little Kakarot, are you ready to have a confrontation with the Supreme God? Because not even an ordinary God is able to activate the Ultra Instinct.
Of course, Father. I'll use all my power. I promise I'll not let you down.
Daishinkan and Kakarot were headed to one of the territories of the Supreme Gods, which when they arrived, an incredible pressure would fall on the body of both. However, this pressure was just a breeze for the Great Priest, who were trained in extreme environments to accompany the king at all. While for Kakarot, it would be a little difficult, but he was not able to stop the half-Saiyan, half-Angel son. But what a surprise to have you for my territory, Great Daishinkan. What is it that is offered to you, since a priest never visits the territory of the Supreme Gods? Long time no see, Ymira. I've brought a disciple of mine here, and I want you to face him. But don't trust yourself because his power is incredible. And don't tell me that's about the guy behind your back. If he only seems to be a simple mortal, this won't be any fun. I'll finish with him with one fell swoop. Daishinkan would give a big smile because at that instant, a lightning bolt was able to connect a great blow to the powerful supreme god Ymira, which would fall to the planet, making it rumble due to the power of the blow.
Don't underestimate me, because in that case, this battle will be over before you can even blink.
Damn brat, you're nothing compared to me. Behold, the true power of a supreme god. Ymira at that moment would begin to increase her power in an incredible way. However, for Kakarot, it was nothing amazing because the power of her father, Daishinkan, was much more incredible than this power. A great calamity would be observed all over the place, and instantly a furious blow was able to turn Kakarot's head, but Ymira would be surprised. How the hell am I supposed to just move your head a little? If that blow is capable of erasing galaxies.
My body's much more resistant than a galaxy. But tell me, what do you think about this?
Kakarot, with a small blow to the chest of Ymira, was able to make him fall to the ground very badly injured, and even vomiting large amounts of blood. Upon witnessing this, even Daishinkan would be very surprised, because Kakarot's power was gigantic, but not as to defeat a supreme god with a single blow. What did he do? The blow I gave him was nothing special.
So it has worked! That was a technique I've been training for the last 7 years. Apparently, Mythical Fist has been a success.
Mythical Fist? Never heard of that name before. All the internal energy of Ymira was starting to get out of control. Instantly, Daishinkan with a big blow was able to control all the internal energy. Daishinkan? Who is that brat? His power is incomparable! He is the being who will rise to the top of all of us. Daishinkan and Kakarot would quickly leave for the Kingdom of the Whole. However, Ymira, not being satisfied with her defeat, would communicate with the most powerful supreme god of all. The instant she arrived, an incredible chaos would be unleashed by not having asked permission to enter her territory. Daishinkan, together with Kakarot, would return to the Kingdom of the Whole, while Ymira, the supreme god who had been defeated by a simple child, would arrive with Aoi, who was the most powerful supreme god among all the gods. And even his power was superior to Daishinkan's power. The moment Ymira arrived, an incredible pressure would fall on his body, and throughout the place, Aoi's voice would resonate. Ymira, the supreme gods never meet us unless it's a megaversal extinction threat. And from what I understand, it's not the situation. I'll kill you if you have nothing to say. I'm sorry, Aoi-sama, but really, what I have to tell you, I'm sure it will interest you, since it's about your rival Daishinkan. Aoi would instantly stop releasing her incredible pressure, allowing Ymira to be able to tell her everything that happened, and even that she had a disciple who at only 15 years old had already surpassed the power of all the destructive gods and several supreme gods. I understand the reason why you've come to me, but you are right. A child with that ability should not exist. We must put an end to that damn genius. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the All, father and son would finish the training. They would both start talking about the battle against the Supreme God. Father, have I done well? But why did you let me use all my power? My dear son, if you used all your power, you destroy everything, because the two most powerful bloods of this vast universe run through your body. I want to become much more powerful, Father. I want to be the most powerful angelic Saiyan of all the universes. Of course it'll be like that, my little Kakarot. Well, what do you think if we train again in that dimension different from ours so that no one feels our power? That sounds great to me, Father. Let's do it! That's how both warriors started their training again. But unlike the strength training they normally used to do, this time Daishinkan was training Kakarot's internal energy and his vision about the divine world and mortal world because Kakarot wanted to destroy everything in his path. And in the same way, being a son, between an angel and a Saiyan, his appearance would remain permanent like that of a teenager, even if he is hundreds of years old. Returning with the Supreme Gods, the 6 Supreme Gods, they began to devise a plan to finish with that warrior. However, a demon who was also considered the Supreme God would take a step forward.
But we must be prepared to end that whole divine world, because if what our companion Ymira has informed us, that child is very important to the High Priest and the King of the Whole.
Raiki is right, because if we attack that brat, we have to have the power or the ideal plan to be able to finish off the divine beings that come our way. You're right. What would be a big problem, but how about if Iori and we face Zeno-sama, since we are both the most powerful Supreme Gods, while you finish with Daishinkan and that brat?
I totally agree with Savitar, the Supreme God of Time. Since defeating the 2 most powerful pillars of the entire divine world, the other gods and angels are mere worms compared to our power.
However, one of them, 3rd most powerful god, had not given an opinion about him, since his heart was pure goodness, unlike his other companions.
Everything that my classmates are doing are not my ideals. How is it possible that they want to end the life of a simple child?
I would only think this. However, instantly the power of the remaining 5 Supreme Gods would be brutally thrown at Yashi, who is the oldest Supreme God and with noble heart.
Damn, Yashi, did you think that we didn't know your intentions? You wouldn't be able to end the life of a mere child, and we'd better seal you.
The power of these 5 Supreme Gods was incredible. However, everyone took a great surprise to witness how the god they considered useless began to destroy each of their barriers. That's right, the power of the god Yashi, who was able to consider the Beast Man, was abominable, even being a much greater power to the power of Iori, which was considered the most powerful Supreme God.
Do you not think that with your simple powers you'd be able to seal me? With that, it would be impossible for such pathetic beings like you. Have you forgotten who founded the kingdom of the Supreme Gods?
Of course we knows you, but you don't have the power to withstand the barrier of 5 of us. It's impossible for you to get.
For me, it was never impossible. Transformation! God Beast!
Instantly, the entire human appearance of the god Yashi would begin to transform, until the moment of even appearing a few marks on his body, and even nails would grow from it. Yashi, with a powerful blow, was able to destroy all the energy barrier, with which he was able to leave that place. Despite his power being so great, Iori was able to cross his body with a grate.
That hurt me! What the hell was that energy?
Apparently, the rumors are true. Inside that shell of a simple human, asleep the legendary Beast God. But it's a pity that you haven't been able to do something. Returning to the realm of the whole, in the special dimension, Kakarot was able to learn total control of his internal energy, while his father Daishinkan was watching all the progress of his son. Good. Would you be very proud of your son? Instantly, Kakarot would open his eyes completely, being able to observe the silver color, hinting at the impressiveness that he exuded from his entire body. That's right, Kakarot had been able to achieve 50% of the Ultra Instinct.
Father, what is all this power running through my body?
As I can see, that is the state of imperfect Ultra Instinct.
I'd like to dominate this whole state completely, but Father, I want to meet more Saiyans. I want to know what happened to my race.
Daishinkan would change his expression to a much more serious one, as he knew that this day would come. My little son, your race was destroyed by a tyrant who calls himself the Emperor of Evil, Frieza. Kakarot would lose the Ultra Instinct, and he would raise his power in a surprising way to Super Saiyan Blue. But the Ultra Instinct, being a state of calm, was not able to control it completely. The whole place would start shaking by the power of Kakarot.
Father, I want to go to that tyrant. I want to finish with my own hands with that damn bastard who dared to eliminate my entire race.
Okay, Kakarot. You are an adult now, and have the full knowledge of good and evil. Kakarot would return to his base state, but he was very upset. The moment he left that dimension, at an incredible speed, he was heading towards Universe 7, which at the moment of arrival, he would begin to concentrate his feel powers to similar of his. But it would be impossible for Kakarot to have angelic blood. However, on a certain planet, he would feel like thousands of lives would disappear. Hell, this is not the reason I came to this place, but I can't let the being who is killing these warriors stay alive. Kakarot at a great speed would arrive towards the planet, being furious to realize that among the annihilated, there were only children while his power grew. Damn, how are you able to take down mere children? No, I'm done with you.
Ha 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 ha! Don't you know who I am? I'm the Emperor of Evil, the Great Frieza.
Kakarot would become even more enraged, realizing that the being in front of him was responsible for ending his entire planet. However, Frieza would immediately realize that it was a Saiyan.
You're a Saiyan? Ha 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 ha! I thought I'd finished with that race several years ago. I've been finished with each of the survivors. In that case, I'll end your pathetic life this very instant.
Kakarot, without letting Frieza react, would grant him a powerful blow, which would send him flying towards a few mountains. The Emperor would quickly recover from that furious blow, and upon realizing the power of that blow without trusting himself, he would pass to his last form.
For a simple ape, you are very powerful, so I would ask you only once. Wouldn't you like to be part of my army? You would be the Supreme Commander. Me being part of your army? Don't make me laugh, you damn worm. You're a simple scum on the side of me. You don't deserve that, even I'm a Saiyan. It transcends everything existing will finish you.
Frieza, furious at being undressed in such a way, would throw himself against Kakarot, who without any difficulty was able to dodge each of his blows. Frieza was very surprised by all the power that gave off that Saiyan.
Is that really all your power? Give me your best shot. I promise not to dodge it. In case you move me from this place, I'll forgive your pathetic life.
Frieza was a little afraid with his maximum power, would instantly hit the face of Kakarot. A great light was detached from the whole place, but instantly one could observe Kakarot with a cold countenance, without any expression.
You are not able to make me any scratch. This instant I'll finish with you. Die, murderer!
Kakarot, with a few moments, had left Frieza sliced, and with a great attack would pulverize him completely. However, at that moment, when possessing angelic energy, he would rise in space, and was able to feel the energy of Whis, an energy very similar to his. Kakarot, without thinking, would quickly come with Whis, arriving in a matter of minutes. Whis would change his expression to a very serious look, because he would feel a gigantic power approaching towards the planet of his god of destruction, the same one that was rested. The power that is given to arrive is a gigantic power, but there is something that intrigues me. The power that gives off is angelic essence. That must be impossible. At that moment, Kakarot would arrive, putting himself in front of Whis, which both would observe each other fixedly. The power of that being gives off is incredible. It must be one of my brothers, of whom my father told me. All this would go through Kakarot's mind. He would instantly throw a blow at him, which Kakarot would, without any difficulty, dodge. I can tell you have angelic energy, and also have the dexterity of one, but your appearance is that of a Saiyan. What are you supposed to be?
I'm a hybrid, the mixture between an angel and a Saiyan, and I'm here to test the power of one of the angels, since I've never known defeat.
Whis would be very surprised by the relief of that Saiyan, but at that moment the god Beerus would wake up from his sleep due to the incredible noise that was outside. But before getting angry at not allowing him to sleep, he was surprised by the pressure that both beings gave off. That's right, the pressure that Kakarot and Whis gave off, they left Beerus very surprised. What the hell? Whis, I've never experienced a release of this level. I can't believe it. Instantly, both brothers began to collide blows. Kakarot only collided blows with the intention of measuring the strength of his opponent, while Whis, not knowing that it was his brother, his blows were much more powerful and of abysmal damage. Kakarot, being caught off guard, would be sent to the planet, creating an incredible crater. From that blow, I already doubt that you'll get up, since not even a god of destruction would be able to withstand it. From the crater, a blue aura would detach. That's right, Kakarot had access to Super Saiyan Blue, but the power he possessed was unreal.
You're right. That blow you dealt me was no normal god would take. but I've been able to fight against supreme gods, so you better not underestimate me.
Whis and Beerus were surprised to learn that the being in front of them had been able to even defeat supreme gods. Kakarot on this occasion of a great blow would send Whis to fly. Without waiting for him to recover, he would throw a great attack of energy, which made Whis leave with several wounds all over his body. Meanwhile, in the territory of the supreme gods, Yashi had been able to escape, but his vitality was being lost quickly. That's right, his power was decreasing in an amazing way. I, the legendary beast god, will not die, but I'll have to face the god of death to be able to come back to life, and it's the last thing I want to do. The power of the beast god was rising in a great way, that even a beast in his aura would be formed from all the power he had raised. On the other hand, in the All Realm, Daishinkan would notice the battle between Whis and Kakarot, which was about to head towards the Universe 7, and 5 amazing powers would appear in the All Realm. The 5 supreme gods would appear in the king's palace at all. However, a sinister aura was felt all over the place that Daishinkan would notice.
Damn, these wretches have chosen the worst time. I don't know what it is that they want, but their aura and essence eminent pure evil.
When Daishinkan tried to approach the supreme gods, they would begin to attack him. Without allowing him to engage in a conversation, Daishinkan, when dodging one of his attacks, realized that the power with which they told him that blow was from another world. That's right, the simple blow, when colliding with the surface of the Kingdom of the Whole, would cause an incredible explosion. Daishinkan would take a little distance, communicating with each of the gods and angels.
My children and gods, we're under enemy attack of the supreme gods, and mainly to you, my children. I have something to tell you, and I hope I can see you again soon, since apparently this will be my last battle.
All the children of Daishinkan would receive such a message, including Kakarot, who was facing Whis. Kakarot would, upon receiving a message, someone neglected his defense, being beaten by. I'll finish you in the next attack. We will have waited for Daishinkan's disposition. How is it possible that the supreme gods are attacking us? Whis would throw a great attack towards where Kakarot had fallen, but all that power would disappear, being able to observe a silver hair as well as his eyes. That's right, Kakarot realized the situation in which his father was able to reach a state of calm, but at the same time a state of confusion, being able to activate the Ultra Instinct, but the power that came out of Kakarot's body was much more powerful than the power possessed by the angels, despite having trained for millions of years. Father, I'm not going to let you die. I'll come to your aid. I'm not going to wait for some damn orders while you die. Beerus, along with Whis, were surprised since all of the gods and angels had transmitted such a message, and if Kakarot had received it, it only meant one thing.
What, that little Saiyan is the son of the great priest?
Upon receiving the message, it seems that he's a half-brother, but it can't be, since he does not possess any physical traits of ours.
But Whis, that Saiyan, he possesses angelic energy. Don't you remember what he said? That he even fought the supreme gods?
This should have a logical explanation, but it's not the right time. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the All, the supreme gods would begin to seal Daishinkan-sama. Priest, you should have never taken your disciple into the world of the supreme gods. All of us have decided to end him, because at such a young age, he gives off that power. He is a danger to everyone. Daishinkan, while being sealed, was not able to do absolutely anything. However, at that moment, an incredible blow from outside was able to weaken the seal, and with the overwhelming power of Daishinkan, he was able to free himself with great difficulty. I will not allow them to seal my father. If they want to do to him, they have to go through my corpse. All of the supreme gods were surprised to realize that the warrior who called himself the disciple of Daishinkan was actually his son. It's a pity, but Daishinkan, I'm not an animal to kill you, seal, in front of your son. So for this occasion, I'll kill both, so that both disappear.
Kakarot, get out of here!
No, father. I plan to stay with you until the end.
Leave, Kakarot. I cannot release and fight with all my power if you're here. My energy can hurt you.
Kakarot, being about to leave Sorat, would get in his way. Daishinkan, being about to help him, he would be surprised to observe Sorat's head fall to the ground, and a large sphere of energy would be disintegrated. The 4 gods were surprised by the power that Saiyan had.
Ymira, Savitar, and Reich, you take care of that kid, and I'll take care of Daishinkan personally since he and I used to have the same power. Hell, Aori's power has risen in an incredible way. But where is the king at all? Daishinkan, I know you're wondering where the king is at all. But he wouldn't have come to this place without taking the respective measures. Maybe you guys. How were they able to defeat Zeno-sama? No one talked about beating him. Zeno-sama is a little kid, so tricking him was easy. The only thing that was able to take down his guardian stealthily. Hell, in that case, we're all alone. But gods and angels are on my side. At that moment, a general call for all the gods along with their angels to approach the kingdom of the All. Since it was an emergency, all the gods began to come to the kingdom of the All. It's a good plan, but before they even arrive, I must have already finished you. Because besides me, you're simple trash. Don't get confused, Aori. We have the same power, while I have trained, which makes you think to not raise my power anymore. You're right, Daishinkan, but look behind you! At that moment, Daishinkan, turning his head, was able to observe how Kakarot had been completely neutralized. That's right, despite Kakarot having an incredible power, he was not able to do anything against the three subjects. So, Daishinkan, do you want to confront me at the risk of your child dying, or do you want to give yourself up for your own free will? Daishinkan would lower his head while his lips moved a little. Angelic quadrupling, Angel of the Spectres, High Priest. Aori would be sent to fly with an incredible blow that would make him collide with an exploding planet instantly. Daishinkan, with his incredible speed, would grant a blow to each god who had held Kakarot. At the moment, Daishinkan would observe his little son while he changed his strange energy in his palm of his hand. My son, get together with all your brothers. That is to say that each one of you, the angels, among all of you, you'll be able to overcome this adversity. I love you, son. Daishinkan would throw a great energy towards Kakarot, which would be teleported towards divine universes, while Daishinkan would begin to channel all his power. Aori, how dare you threaten me with my son? Even if I die, I plan to take at least two of you with me. The whole body of Daishinkan would begin to shine. Instantly, an immense megaversal explosion could be observed by the 12 universes. The angels which were heading to the kingdom of the whole would stop, since the big explosion would be able to be observed at a distance, and only the shockwave was able to cause great damage to the gods. Our father had sacrificed himself. The warrior who forced him to this must have been an absolute monster, but they have both died. You are wrong, my brother. My father has died, but the 4 warriors he was facing all are still alive. Daishinkan, while sacrificing himself, would communicate with each of his children. My children, I'm sorry. Me, being the High Priest, has broken the most important rule. Do not associate with any mortal. You all have a younger brother, which is my son and Saiyan. I hope you'll excuse me. The explosion would end, while all the angels were very surprised by the great revelation of his father. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of the whole, Aori was furious, knowing that the most dangerous being had been saved. However, on a planet very far from a universe unknown to all, Daishinkan would fall very badly injured and on the verge of death. So I haven't died. This is a blessing, but I have to hibernate to be able to recover. I trust you, my little Kakarot. Daishinkan would be out of combat while Kakarot had arrived at one of the planets of the Divine Universes. Instantly, if he arrived, he would be unconscious. However, for Kakarot's fortune, he had been found by Mikoshin. That's right, Daishinkan's mother, who would realize that he possessed angelic energy, taking him to a place on his planet, which he specialized in the recovery of internal energy. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of the whole, the 4 supreme gods would begin to meditate so that all your energy is completely stabilized. However, the most psychologically affected was Savitar. Damn it! How is it possible that he attacked me with such great speed? It was said that no one is capable of surpassing my speed, but for that priest, it was no difficulty to leave me like a worm. Meanwhile, with each of the angels, they were in the most inhospitable planets of the 12 universes so as not to be discovered. Hey, Whis, why don't we travel to the other universes outside of the 12? Mr. Beerus, that would be impossible for us, because the power that is needed to cross megaversal barriers is of another level. We would be pulverized.
Returning with Kakarot, he would wake up from a great fright, accessing even the Super Saiyan Blue. Apparently all a nightmare, but he would be surprised to observe a warrior very similar to his father, but in a female version. Am I dead? What happened?
Of course not, little one. You have only fallen into the divine universes. I am Mikoshin, and who are you?
My name's Kakarot. I'm a hybrid between an angel and a Saiyan. Mikosha would be very surprised to realize that an angel had been involved with a mortal, but much more was her astonishment to realize that her father was Daishinkan. That's right, he was her own son. Instantly, Mikosha would hug Kakarot tightly, which he understood absolutely nothing. What do you mean, grandson? Are you the mother of my father, Daishinkan?
So it is, little Kakarot. I'm Daishinkan's mother, but tell me, why did you come with those wounds? Who were the wretches who dared to kill almost my little grandson?
Those responsible were the supreme gods. They attacked my father while I was facing Whis, so I went to his aid, finishing with one of them, but between three they were able to neutralize me completely.
But where was Daishinkan? Where was he? Why didn't I help you?
My father Daishinkan gave me the perfect opportunity, since he was the one who sent me to this place. He sacrificed everything for me so that, for a reason, I want to become more powerful, to end every one of those
Those bastards, they will be eliminated by my dear grandson, and don't worry that I, the supreme high-level priestess, personally took care of your training.
I really appreciate it very much.
Before starting with your training, I want to raise your power to the maximum. I want to observe what is the limit of your power.
Kakarot would immediately begin to raise his power to the limit, accessing the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 3, with which his power was gigantic. However, it did not compare with the Ultra Instinct, however. He was still not able to access that state at will. But despite this, Mikoshin would be very surprised.
The power he possesses is amazing. At only 21 years old, he possesses the power of even being to have trained for millions of years.
All this, she would say to herself. Instantly, Mikosha would stretch out one of her hands, creating a pentagram on top of Kakarot's. That's right, Mikosha had sealed 90% of Kakarot's internal energy, which would be very surprised. And this time, it was hard for him to move freely. What's happened? Why is this happening to me?
In order for your energy as a Saiyan to grow much faster, you will have to travel all the way from zero. But don't worry, when I unlock your power again, it will rise in a way never seen before. Trust me.
Of course, yes. Let's start. Kakarot, despite all his attempts to take the training to his equal, it was impossible for him, since he just was standing in incredibly difficult, much more to dodge or launch energy attacks. Mikoshin, who was watching everything, was very proud of her grandson's power, since even her son Daishinkan had gone through that training, not being able to stand.
You will be the prodigy of our race, the supreme angelic Saiyan.
Meanwhile, in the world of supreme gods, a golden-colored stone would begin to rotate with incredible speed. And at the moment, the beast god would appear in his most powerful state, cursing each one of his other companions who turned their backs on him, despite having taught them everything about the world of the supreme gods. The powerful god Yashi was releasing all his beastly power, which was perceived by the four supreme gods, and even by the mother of Daishinkan, so it had been felt by the powerful Mikoshin-sama, who would quickly recognize that key.
Wow! Apparently after millions of years, Yashi had decided to release the true power for which even our clan gave life.
Flashback. Hundreds of millions of years ago, in the highest territory of the supreme divine gods, or better known as the gods of infinity, a powerful baby with white hair had been born. But at the moment of birth, he was able to kneel to 80% of all the gods of the divine universes or higher. I am very proud of the power that my son has. He will be the true ruler of everything that I have built. He is the chosen.
But, Father, I am your firstborn. This should not happen, since the law supports me. I'll not allow a newborn to keep everything that by law belongs to me. Noah,
which was the name of the god, would pounce against his brother. His father would try to stop him, but he was able to overcome his speed. However, at the moment of granting him a great blow, a powerful beast would form all over the place. That's right, he was the first Ozaru in the upper world and likewise his first appearance.
I don't know what I am, but I know that this baby's my master. I'll not allow any of you to hurt him. I don't care if you're family. You and I will crush like simple ants.
Damn useless beast, you don't know who we are, so you better get out of my way if you don't want to die.
The gigantic Ozaru would not say absolutely, watching him intently, which the god, furious in the same way, launched himself against him. But on this occasion, the Ozaru would not dodge any of his blows, but the fists of Noah, who was in the ranking of the 5 most powerful gods, was being rattled, that's right, just by hitting the skin of that beast. His fists were bleeding.
You've been warned, King Beast, freeze!
At that instant, everything around him would freeze, and even a great pressure would be felt all over that place. That's right, the pressure of the beast god would be felt for the first time despite being only a baby. The pressure was able to make all the gods kneel, with the exception of one, who was the king of that world and the father of Yashi.
I realize that my son's power is impressive, and you should not worry because we will give him the best attention, and nothing will ever happen to him. I hope so, since the murderous essence of his supposed brother is true. He really wants to end Yashi's life, and I'll never allow that.
All this had happened while that god had evolved and was able to surpass all the geniuses of his clan, and far above his brother and father. However, one day an ambush infinite divinity level was his downfall, in which, despite Yashi using all his power, he was not able to do absolutely anything, was banished from 90% of all his powers. But despite only having 10% of his powers, he was able to become the most powerful supreme god, and even training the powerful Bouken-sha, who likewise suffered exile, being his main angel. Mikoshin, I really appreciate your loyalty to me. I promise that we'll take revenge on the whole divine world. Even my own family turned their backs on me. Don't worry, Yashi-sama. I'll always be there for you, because thanks to you, I have been able to achieve all of his power. Yashi, with his great power in the same way, but despite being in the mortal world, he was able to create alternate dimensions, and one of them would call them the divine universes, which Mikoshin and Yashi were the rulers. However, over time, more supreme gods appeared, so that at that moment, Yashi would offer to teach them everything he knew, until the most powerful god Aori betrayed him again, as well as his family. And flashback. Mikoshin was right. After all, one can't trust anyone because they're simple worms. They're simple garbage. I intend to finish with every one of those miserable. Meanwhile, with Kakarot's training, he was able to master his power. However, without Mikoshin or anyone from the divine world knowing, inside Kakarot, Yashi's power was sleeping. That's right, Kakarot, despite being Kakarot's son, Yashi was able to grant him a gigantic power while Gine was pregnant. If everything I was able to see in the future is correct, this baby is the salvation of everything existing, and I trust that Daishinkan and Mikoshin will grant him the necessary power. Going back to Daishinkan, he was in hibernation, but the pain of your body would wake him up. Because superficially, he was healed, but internally, despite having spent a few months of his internal energy, still in a total out of control.
Hell, I won't be able to recover if my energy continues this way. I have to do and fast, since instead of healing my body has been decreasing.
Daishinkan, with his whole body in terrible condition, would be able to perceive a little of the power of Kakarot, with which, using his few energies, he would be able to use the same ability to go to the same place. However, the power he would acquire would be much greater, since halfway Daishinkan would fall on a planet completely bleeding out due to his bad state.
Damn! I haven't been able to get out with my little Kakarot. Apparently, this place will be where the great priest will die.
But luck was on Daishinkan's side because, at the moment, Yashi would appear next to him, putting a hand on Daishinkan's chest and transmitting an overwhelming power, which was able to heal all Daishinkan's wounds completely. But in the same way, he was breaking every one of his bones. Priest, thanks to you, all these universes will survive. But right now, you have to master all that power, because Kakarot needs you. In case you're not with him, Kakarot will sink in a path of blood. Daishinkan, knowing all this, he would try to control the power as of place, but each of his bones was broken at every moment. However, after 3 hours of incredible pain, Daishinkan was able to control the power a little, managing to decrease his power, but still he was not able to walk due to how heavy all his power was.
This power is incredible, but aren't you the god Yashi? It was said that you were one of the weakest supreme gods.
It's what I was always made everyone to believe, but even my power surpasses the bastard of Aoi.
I swear I'll end that wretch's life. Because of him, I'll send Kakarot far away. I just hope he is well.
Don't worry about Kakarot for now, he's fine. But you have to master all the power I've granted you 100% for you to be able to defeat the rebellious gods.
But you have the necessary power to defeat him.
That's right, but this power is for another matter. Right now, I don't know if I'll come back, but I'm grateful for that savior and successor has been born, so I can leave in peace. Daishinkan, before he could say anything, Yashi had disappeared with his great speed, being able to cross hundreds of high-ranking divine barriers. That's right, Yashi had headed to the world of the gods' infinity. The moment he arrived, he was able to observe his brother, who, a little confident after millions of years had passed, would transport behind Yashi, talking to his ear. How long about seeing you, brother? But I can tell that your power is still sealed. It's a shame. On this occasion, I'll take revenge for all that humiliations. At the moment that Noah would try to grant him a blow, Noah's head would be torn from a great blow, which had the power to finish with the most powerful infinity god. Ha ha ha! Damn worm, you're right. My power is still sealed, but I need all my power to finish with a fucking trash like you are. The whole floor would be filled with blood, while at that moment, all the warriors rushed against Yashi, who began to fall defeated one by one. Instantly, the king and father of Yashi would appear in front of him, releasing all his power, realizing that he had ended the life of Noah.
It was your brother. You're a murderer. Now I'll end your life.
Father and son began to exchange blows at incredible speeds. However, it was absolutely nothing for Yashi's power, which, despite having 90% of all his power sealed, he was able to humiliate his father, while all the other warriors were annihilated by the simple extortion of his fists. Instantly, Yashi was able to connect a big blow, throwing him to the ground. Ha 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 ha! What's the matter, father? Is that the power of the king of the universes of infinity?
You're a monster. You're the worst thing that could have happened to these universes.
I was your son. Now I'll die just like all of you. I don't plan to die without my family. Yashi's whole body would begin to light up with a great light. All the warriors, realizing that Yashi was doing, began to flee. However, it was impossible for them since Yashi had sealed the entire infinite universe. We will all die here, as none of you will be able to withstand a supreme infinite level explosion, as is my power. At the moment, the big explosion would be divided into 4 great powers, which began to destroy everything around them, and even ending the life of every living being in the multiverse. The lives that would disappear were even felt by Mikoshin. So after millions of years, you have found your successor, and for that reason you have finished the whole universe of infinity. But Mikoshin did not know that the successor of the beast power was her beloved grandson, whom she was training. That's right, since Kakarot's power still did not reach even 2% of its real capacity, Kakarot's power would explode when he was able to enter the Valley of Infinity. On the contrary, he only possessed the power of an angel and a Saiyan. Meanwhile, in all of Kakarot's training, he himself was able to master the Ultra Instinct to the maximum. Mikoshin-sama, I've been able to master the Ultra Instinct to its maximum power. I'm ready for the next training. That surprised me, Kakarot. But this time I will be your training. That's right, you should be able to give me a hit. Of course, if I want to avenge my father's death and become the most powerful being in existence, I'll have to try much harder. The new training began between Mikoshin and Kakarot, had started with which Kakarot wanted to break all his limits as a Saiyan. Meanwhile, with Daishinkan, he was also meditating in an alternate dimension since he wanted to overcome his limits. In the same way,
the mighty god Yashi entrusted me with all this power. I'll not disappoint him. I'll be able to master all the power, and I'll end the lives of those miserable.
Daishinkan would continue with his great training, which was making Daishinkan's power increase incredibly by possessing in his entire body the power of the beast god. Meanwhile, with all the 4 supreme gods, these had completely recovered.
It's time to start looking for that dwarf. Since knowing that his father had died, he must have powered up. We can't allow that.
You're correct, but how do we find it? We're not able to feel the power of that child.
It'll be better to destroy this entire multiverse, since apparently it has great closeness with the beings of these worlds.
Iori would begin to channel a large sphere of fire, with which he wished to destroy everything in his path. The incredible power of Ori was heading towards the entire multiverse of Zeno-sama. Instantly, all the gods and angels joined together, being able to form the Ultimate Warrior, with which much difficulty was able to dodge such a sneaky attack.
Wow, what do we have here? Yet another piece of rubbish has appeared.
I am the one in charge of finishing you, since all the gods and angels have decided to form a single being.
Iori, of a big blow, would send him to fly to a planet because he had a bad feeling. While the fusion of all the gods, he was not able to do anything. He would recover from the blow, and at the moment, they would begin to clash their fists all over the multiverse of Zeno-sama. The whole battle was releasing great slings of energies, which even reached the dimension where Daishinkan was entering, and in the same way, Kakarot would realize everything that had happened.
Apparently, the last resistance, which are the gods and angels, have started in the battle, but I promise to bring them to life with the Super Dragon Balls. I have to control all this power.
Those miserable bastards! I intend to end them this very instant.
No, Kakarot, that's crazy! You won't be able to do anything! But at that moment, in the mind of Yashi would appear, asking him to take him to the Eternal Forest, as it would be the place where Kakarot will awaken his power.
Mikoshin, do as I tell you. Trust me.
But in the same way, you together with your son Daishinkan be the last resistance, because Kakarot will not bear to see everything destroyed. Mikoshin, trusting his king Yashi completely, would take Kakarot quickly to the Eternal Forest, in which lightning storm would begin to hit him in a brutal way. While as Kakarot began to concentrate, he was able to dominate every lightning bolt that hit him.
This place is amazing, but I can't waste my time, since my friends are in grave danger. I'm not gonna let the Zeno-sama multiverse be destroyed.
Kakarot, despite using all his powers, was not able to do anything to leave that place, which had an incredible resistance. Kakarot, without remedy, would begin to train to increase the power of his blows. Meanwhile, in the training of Daishinkan, the three-dimensional barrier would be completely destroyed. That's right, because the incredible power of Mikoshin was able to destroy it, Daishinkan would get into a battle pose, but he was surprised to observe his mother and the first priestess of all creation.
Mikoshin-sama, what is it that you intend to do in this place?
It's not time for questions, but it will be better to help all the gods, while Kakarot masters the power beyond one god.
How do you know my son? Is it because of fate's impact on your planet?
That's right, Daishinkan. The teleportation technique you used. I send it directly to part of my planet, but it's better to help the gods.
Of course, if Mikoshin-sama will be able to beat him, and so my dear son won't have to get hurt.
Both angels began to fly at incredible speeds, which, when they arrived, they were able to observe the fusion. In terrible conditions and on the verge of death, due to all the damage received in the battle, even their hatred and knows they shed blood.
But if it's the useless Daishinkan and the powerful Mikoshin, but currently if powerful, you have nothing, since our power is much greater than yours.
Little Iori, you are completely mistaken. If you think you have the necessary power to defeat me, I want to check it. Iori instantly rushed towards Mikoshin. He was amazed, realizing how Mikoshin just expelled a little of his power. His simple aura had stopped his blow, while Daishinkan would stand in front of Savitar and rake.
At this moment, I plan to finish with you without having been able to deal with the notice as I've done.
Daishinkan would keep his word, since both gods were not able to release any of their power. Being completely defeated by Daishinkan, and a large sphere of energy would be pulverized, forming part of the cosmic dust of the universe.
I didn't count on this result, but thank you, Daishinkan, for putting an end to those useless.
Instantly, purple-colored spheres of energy began to enter Iori's body, which was beginning to mutate a little. So much was the power that even a part of his face would turn a little red, while his power increased in incredible ways. Meanwhile, Kakarot, in that dimension, had spent about 20 years in which his power had risen in a bestial way. Instantly, Kakarot would release an overwhelming power, being able to access the Super Saiyan Phase 4. But in all the aura, the silhouette of the beast god included to that of an Ozaru could be observed.
This power's amazing! Now I just need to get out of this thing. Kakarot, despite the great power he possessed, when trying to move, he would not be able to do it because his whole body weighed hundreds of tons due to the new power which Kakarot was not able to control. Kakarot, a little desperate without knowing what was happening outside, would decide to master 100% of the power of his new transformation. I don't have time to sit around doing nothing. It'll be better to meditate as quickly as possible. Kakarot would begin with his great meditation, and although each of the rays collided with Kakarot, they were not able to penetrate his hard skin. Returning to the battlefield, the art of Aori had exploded in a surprising way, with which he was able to even release a pressure which would not let both angels move freely. What the hell? Your appearance changes drastically, as does your power. This is the power of the Supreme Gods together. Now each of their technical powers live in me. I'll finish with you by the death of my other brothers. Aori would begin to exchange hundreds of blows with both angels, which this time they were not able to do anything. Because despite being able to observe Aori's blows, their bodies were really slow to try to dodge them. Mikosha would be sent to some rocks on the Kingdom of the Whole, but furious, she would get up expelling much more power, while Aori was playing with Daishinkan. At the moment, Mikosha would quickly join the battle, but this time the power of Aori had surprised them by tens of times, for which he would start torturing Daishinkan, using hundreds of energy arrows all over his body, which caused the great priest to spill large amounts of blood.
Damn worm. If you confess we're your damn son, I promise to finish with both of you without any pain. I would never do that. I'd rather you end my existence. You get them from being brave, not knowing that you're trash next to me.
Aori, with his great power, was directing his last blow towards Daishinkan, but instantly the fusion would get in his way, which was very badly injured. Aori, furious, was about to give a big blow to the fusion.
You're a cockroach next to me, but you've made me angry that I'll get irritated.
Aori, when directing his powerful blow, an incredible pressure, like his fist, was held with an unreal force, so much that it would break several bones of his arm. Now, he would quickly accelerate his energy so that he would be able to heal the damage, but he was surprised to realize that it was the Saiyan, but the pressure that he released was incredible. If I had to compare it, it would be said that Kakarot's power could be observed as a giant, while Aori's power seemed like that of a simple ant. You've already caused so much damage to these multiverses. I've been able to get hold of the original power of the Beast God. Now neither you nor anyone else will be able to cope with me. I'll make you suffer in the worst way possible. Kakarot would direct a great blow to the face of Aori, which due to the incredible power would be thrown thousands of meters, by which Kakarot would use a little of his new power, creating an angelic field over the whole place, and those who were inside were able to recover all their energies. It's time, Supreme God Aori.
He even beat Yashi, the damn one who said he was called the first Beast God. So I'm going to end up with you, you cheap copy.
Attack me if you think I'm a cheap copy. Aori, very furious, would start clashing fists with Kakarot, which in each shock of his blows left Aori very badly injured, who could do absolutely nothing. What do you think about this? Nebula of Death Saiyan! The whole place would pray to hundreds of rays, while a black pressure would spread all over the place. Aori, realizing that all this was a poison, would use powerful burst of energy, with which he was able to clear everything around.
With those simple tricks, you won't be able to beat me. I'm a super god. Pathetic warrior like you won't be able to do anything against me.
But at the end of saying that, Aori's entire body suffered incredible damage since Kakarot did not waste any opportunity to cause great damage to his enemy.
Miserable! How is it possible that you have so much power? I can't believe it. Even Yashi didn't possess all this power.
Haha! Don't make me laugh. If Yashi-sama wanted to finish you, it would have been enough just one of my fingers, since his power is no competition whatsoever. So really, Yashi-sama used all that power to be able to exterminate the entire infinite universe.
I'm very proud of my little Kakarot. He's been able to even surpass me.
The fusion at the moment would end, appearing all the angels and gods, which in the same way were recovering thanks to the energy field of Kakarot. Father, so that Saiyan is your dear younger brother?
You're right, Whis, but the power he possesses is amazing, as you can tell. At such a young age, he even surpasses my power.
But in the entire multiverse, a great portal would be created from which the great Zeno-sama would appear very upset, because none of his guardians would come to his call.
What's happening? Have you left me trapped in that dimension?
But Zeno-sama would realize this incredible negativity that emanated from Iori's body, but despite all that dark power, his essence remained the same.
You're Iori. You, along with the other supreme gods, left me in that place. Now I'll finish with each of you. I don't plan to let this stay like this. Great Zeno-sama, I implore you to let me finish Iori with my own hands, since this one has ended hundreds of lives and doesn't deserve such a benevolent death. Oh, it's okay, Kakarot. It'll be as you decide. I trust you, Kakarot.
Those bastards are so sure they'll end my existence, but if I die, I don't plan to go to hell alone. My final explosion will end everything existing.
Kakarot, while walking to Iori, thousands of catastrophes were generated all over the place, but which made the ancient supreme god enter into terror. It was when observing in the aura of Kakarot the first legendary Ozaru and the guardian of Yashi, Iori, when observing that wise beast, that his end was approaching. So without thinking about it, he would create a small explosion to distract everyone present while flying all over the universe.
I don't have the power to face that thing, since its power surpasses all kinds of power.
But in front of Iori, Kakarot would appear, pulling him tightly by the neck, while Iori, giving blows, was not able to let go of the grip of the Saiyan.
It's time, you murderer, to finish you. If you murder, you must be prepared to be murdered. So die!
Iori would try to use a big explosion, but Kakarot, as if it were a beast, he would put his hand in Iori's chest, which, before dying, Kakarot would use an energy called the D-Shankin, which was the energy of the first gods of infinity, much more aggressive than Haki himself.
Finally, all this is over, but with this great power, I have to be able to return everything to normal.
Kakarot would rise to the top of the 12 universes, beginning to expel too much power, while the planets in each of the universes began to return to normal.
Damn, this is too tiring! Legendary Ozaru, give me your power!
Incredible power, like a gigantic Ozaru, could be observed by all the universes, making everything around it rumble. Due to the great energy change, it being able to restore everything destroyed by Iori, Kakarot would return to his base state after several months because its energy reserves were almost reaching zero.
My son is amazing. He'll be the one who reaches the maximum capacity as the Angelic King.
As all the gods and angels would make a bow towards Kakarot, which despite being in its base state, still emanated a great power.
Oh, this isn't necessary, because no matter who I am, if someone believes that he can destroy the multiverse in which I was born, he has to first end my existence.
That was how Kakarot would begin to present himself with each of the gods, as well as with his brothers. I could tell that at such a young age, you have an incredible power. I'm sorry for you in your previous fight to fight with the intention of ending your life. I didn't know who you were.
Don't worry, I completely understand.
Great God, Supreme Kakarot, could you be my teacher?
I'm not good at teaching, but when you want, I'll have a match with you, Beerus.
And that's how Kakarot would begin in the same way to protect the great Zeno-sama and beings which threatened any universe and overcame the power of the gods. Kakarot was in charge. That's right, the presence of Kakarot had created a respect in several universes while fear in the evil. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the Devourer of Worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance.
Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature is more formidable than I imagined.
Determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis', creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
You can't dodge me forever, Whis.
As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The Destroyer God sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the Destroyer God. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict. "Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?" Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the High Priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. This sphere of divine containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds. an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the sphere of divine containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There was still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the sphere of divine containment. Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z-Warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Kaio-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Kaio-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, scarring Kaio-sama with serious and determined expressions. Kaio-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial. We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know?
Kaio-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Kaio-sama explained that the cosmic core of containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact shows Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot! It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time, figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z-Warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z-Warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z-Warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin,
Android 18 and Master Roshi, three warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the three warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen, a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun. "I don't know who you are, but will not allow you to harm our planet!" Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black, malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield. Kaizen! In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension. The henchman counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchman painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene. "You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine." As Bahamut's henchman lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master. On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination. Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think. The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z Warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control? The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of containment, that ancestral artifact,
had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden. The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried. The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them.
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaiosama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Daishinkan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Daishinkan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Daishinkan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Daishinkan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this.
Daishinkan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchman, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, this being who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought, "I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them." Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said, "I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut." Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said, "More gods? This sounds very dangerous and it's exciting."
Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful.
The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans. Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness? Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans. Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan!
Come on, God of Darkness. Show us what you can do.
Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness.
They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness.
Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami. However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added, "Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting." Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless. The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances. "Vegeta, it's time to go further!"
Huh. Of course, Kakarot.
As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better. Huh. Of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions.
I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness.
Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully.
Is that all you have, Saiyan?
While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Ah! Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level. Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do?
Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it.
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans.
Final flash!
The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact. His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily. Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions.
Big Bang attack!
Kaioken 20 times! The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy. This darkness is incredibly strong.
We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this.
Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously. Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness. The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions.
Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within.
No! I haven't taken complete control yet!
Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation.
What's going on?
Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form, and now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The Falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now, Takami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha. That's what Yamcha looks like! Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile.
That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now.
Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously.
Damn it! How dare you possess one of us? It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Baumut puppets.
The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely.
Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Baumut will be released, and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takami. Of course, Kakarot. But first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Baumut. But Takami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
The dark energy intensified in the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness. Now, the freedom to be able to use all his power launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her.
Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!
But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Daishinkan, after learning the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Daishinkan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly.
Takami, I'll make sure you pay for this.
Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Baumut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself. The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted. Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world. Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyans' fusion. Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option.
I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Shinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight, but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Shinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Shinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans? Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Shinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster. I'll come with you, Shinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it, Shinhan, Chaos.
Shinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Shinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Shinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Shinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Shinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Daishinkan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Daishinkan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Daishinkan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that. Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act.
At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain. I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation, where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain. Gogeta floated in the sky, surrounded by the imposing energy of his new form. The stars seemed to pale before the intensity of his blue radiance, as Takami recovered from the initial impact and adopted a defensive posture.
What kind of transformation is this? This is the power of those who fight for something greater than themselves.
With a flash, Gogeta disappeared, appearing in front of Takami in the blink of an eye. The clash of their fists created shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Gogeta's speed and strength were unmatched, surpassing even Takagami's ability to anticipate his blows. Gogeta and Takami exchanged blows and energy blasts at breakneck speed. Each impact resounded like cosmic thunder, creating an epic symphony on planet Earth.
Your attempt to revive your so-called gods ends here, Takami. But you're a bug in the face of the greatness of my power.
In an instant, Gogeta unleashed a burst of concentrated energy, enveloping Takami in a whirlwind of light and force. When the light dissipated, Takami emerged unharmed, but with a more serious expression.
Interesting, but not enough.
The battle was reaching cosmic levels, with ripples of energy spreading across the far reaches of the universe. Meanwhile, the other Z warriors watched the sky, appreciating Gogeta's great power of display and Takagami's resilience and viciousness. The roar of battle echoed in every corner of the universe. Gogeta and Takami, wrapped in an endless dance of energy, continued their titanic confrontation. Space twisted and trembled under the influence of their powers, creating distortions itself. Bursts of energy expanded like lightning, illuminating the darkness of the night sky with dazzling flashes. Each blow between the two contenders seemed to release an explosion of energy that spread in concentric waves, setting the frantic pace of the cosmic battle. Away from the battlefield, the others watched in anguish and admiration. Bulma, with a mixture of fear and hope in her eyes, clung to the hope that Gogeta would prevail.
Come on, Gogeta, you must win! For all of us!
Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Gogeta and Takami continued their fierce exchange. Determination burned in Gogeta's eyes, while Takami maintained a defiant smile, though his expression hid a growing unease.
This is for the price you pay for defying the peace of the universe.
With a swift movement, Gogeta vanished and reappeared behind Takami, launching an energy-charged punch straight at his back.
But Takami, anticipating, quickly spun around and blocked the attack with the dark energy shield. Haha, is that all you got? In response, Gogeta intensified his assault, unleashing a continuous flurry of punches and kicks. Each impact resounded like thunder. But Takami, though outmatched in speed, resisted with his dark power, countering the attacks with deft movements. During the scuttle, Takami took advantage of the prevalent moment of openness and opened up a launched energy bolt straight for Gogeta's chest. The resulting explosion shook the universe and Gogeta was thrown backwards, leaving a trail of blue energy. Is that all hope can do? Gogeta recovered quickly, stood up with determination. The glow of his transformation increased even more. This is far from over. The battle continued, leading them again to display an ever-increasing amount of power. In this fury, Gogeta unleashed power that defied the laws of the universe, and Takami, despite his arrogance, began to show signs of concern. The tension was palpable. The Z-Warriors felt the intensity of the confrontation, even when they were a long distance away from where the battle for the future of the planet was taking place. Piccolo was seriously watching, calculating every move and thinking if at some point this battle, which was far from over, would be a favorable outcome. Piccolo, in his thoughts,
Goku, Vegeta, we trust you. You must win this battle.
The battle reached a new climax when Gogeta and Takami met at an eminent point in the battle. The energy emanated from them, illuminating the vastness of the dark sky, creating a dazzling spectacle of colors and flashes. You cannot escape darkness. Darkness will never prevail over light.
You're a fool if you think your light can eclipse my power.
Suddenly, a voice echoed in Gogeta's mind, a familiar but distant voice.
Gogeta, do not underestimate your enemy. Truth lies within strength.
The transmission abruptly cut off, leaving Gogeta bewildered. Before he could reflect on it, however, Takami lunged towards him with surprising speed, unleashing a series of punches and kicks that left Gogeta struggling to keep up. At that moment, a fleeting image flashed through Gogeta's mind. A vision of his loved ones, of his purpose, and the responsibility he carried on his shoulders. The energy of the transformation fanned, and Gogeta, with newfound determination, struck back with renewed ferocity. This is the limit of your tyranny, Takami.
The limit's up to you, Gogeta, and your limit is my power.
Suddenly, the sky around him fragmented, and multiple distorted versions of Takami emerged from the dimensional rifts, each with a malevolent grin.
You cannot defeat me, Gogeta. I am eternal. I'm a god. You may be powerful, but I'm not alone in this.
The battle reached a new intensity as multiple distorted incarnations of Takami surrounded Gogeta. Each emanated a dark energy that defied the laws of the universe. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the pressure of their combined presences. At that precise moment, Goku and Vegeta's fusion had come to an end due to the amount of power they had used in order to stand up to Takami. Goku and Vegeta, although they had returned to their individual forms after the fusion, knew that the key by defeating Takami lay in perfect unity and coordination. Vegeta, we're in this together. Let's give all our power to be able to confront him so we can free Yamcha from this so-called god.
Yes, Kakarot, this insect will not defeat us.
The Z-Warriors watched in amazement, aware that the fate of the universe hung in the balance. Piccolo analyzed the situation, looking for any weaknesses that could be exploited. The others prepared to act if the opportunity presented itself. Goku and Vegeta, now separated, their fusion as Gogeta, faced Takami with determination in their eyes. The dark presence of the supposed god loomed over them, but the Saiyans were determined to free Yamcha and put an end to the threat he posed. Vegeta, we need to coordinate our attacks. We've always been stronger when we fight together.
For once, I agree with you, Kakarot. This insect will pay for what he did.
The two Saiyans lunged towards Takami, attacking with a combination of punches and ki blasts. Takami, though powerful, was momentarily overwhelmed by the timing of the two warriors. However, his sinister laugh echoed across the battlefield.
Your union will change nothing. My power is unlimited.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances, realizing that the situation was more serious than they had imagined. Takami unleashed a wave of dark energy that sent them flying, but they quickly recovered, ready to continue the fight.
The Z-Warriors watched with concern. Gohan, though a bit intimidated by Takagami's power, maintained his unwavering determination. Piccolo, with his keen intelligence, pointed out a possible weakness.
It seems his power is linked to some source. We must find a way to break that connection.
Goten and Trunks, who had arrived along with Gohan, eager to join the battle, looked at their parents with concern. However, Piccolo stopped them.
Guys, we need a plan before we launch into battle. Your strength will be crucial at the right time.
While the Z-Warriors thought of a plan, Goku and Vegeta continued their fierce assault against Takagami. Every time it seemed they were about to defeat him, his power increased and the evil emanating from him intensified.
Ha 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 ha! Your resistance is useless. My power thrives on despair and suffering.
Then we must find a way to change that. Vegeta, we need to attack together, but with a strategy.
You're finally thinking clearly, Kakarot. Let's do it!
The two Saiyans, coordinating their movements, executed a series of synchronized attacks. Although Takagami was defending himself skillfully, he began to show signs of discomfort. The connection between his power and the external source seemed to be faltering. At that instant, Piccolo noticed the opportunity.
Now is the time. Gohan, wait for the opening we'll give you so you can attack. Goten, Trunks, follow me on my signal.
Gohan nodded, conveying a look of confidence to his friends. Goten and Trunks prepared to act on Piccolo's directions.
Everyone, let's send our energies to Goku and Vegeta. We must strengthen their connection and weaken Takagami's source of power.
The Z-Warriors gathered their energies and, with a coordinated effort, sent a stream of ki skyward. Goku and Vegeta, sensing the surge of power, seized the opportunity. They're doing it! Come on, Vegeta! The connection between Goku, Vegeta, and the Z-Warriors created a unique synergy. Energy flowed through them, strengthening their resolve and weakening Takagami's external source of power.
This can't be happening!
The darkness surrounding Takagami began to dissipate, due to the large amount of energy they were receiving from their friends. Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, observing the battle, noticed the opportunity to intervene.
Now, guys, let's go!
Goten and Trunks took flight into the sky where Goku and Vegeta were, joining the fight against Takagami. With the energy of the Z-Warriors strengthening the connection between Goku and Vegeta, the real battle was about to begin. The fusion of powers of the Saiyans between father and son created an explosion of energy that enveloped Takagami. The fight intensified, but now, with hope and determination as their allies, Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks were ready to face the Dark God and free the universe from his evil domain. The burst of energy that enveloped Takagami reverberated throughout the universe. The fusion of the powers of Goku, Vegeta, and his sons created a symphony of forces, illuminating the sky with a brilliant radiance that defied the darkness Takagami had tried to impose. Takagami, enveloped in the luminescence of the combined energy, struggled to maintain his composure. The connection between his power and the source of his power, Yamcha, was weakening with every second, and his sinister laugh began to turn into growls of frustration. We're making progress, Vegeta!
Yes, but let's not let our guard down. It's not over.
As the Saiyans continued their coordinated offensive, Goten and Trunks and their Super Saiyan forms joined the battle. The pressure on Takagami intensified, as he now faced not only the two adult Saiyans, but also that of his sons. The coordination between them was impressive, and every move was backed by the combined strength of the Z-Warriors. Dad! Vegeta! We're here to help! Let's show this guy that the Saiyan family is unstoppable! The trio of Saiyans, with their different levels of expertise and abilities, formed a united front against Takagami. The battle was getting more and more intense, with bursts of energy and flurries of attacks lighting up space like a celestial spectacle. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, and the others channeled their energies to strengthen the connection between the Saiyans and, at the same time, searched for weaknesses in Takagami's defense.
We must keep the pressure on and look for any opportunity to unbalance Takagami.
Dad, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, we all trust you. Let's defeat this enemy together. In space, the synergy between the Saiyans reached its peak. Goku and Vegeta, with the energy of their sons and the Z-Warriors, fused their attacks in an amazing display of power. Takagami, despite his resistance, began to give ground.
This is not possible! I'm a god! I cannot be defeated!
The connection between his power and the external source was on the verge of collapse. The Saiyans, sensing Takagami's weakness, redoubled their efforts. Goten, Trunks, guided by Piccolo's strategy, attacked from unexpected angles, while Goku and Vegeta continued their frontal assault. Piccolo noticed a key opportunity.
Now, Gohan, it's your time!
Gohan, in his final form ready to take advantage of the opportunity, concentrated his energy and launched himself into the confrontation. With surprising speed, he joined the fight alongside Goku, Vegeta, Goten, and Trunks. "Let's finish this, Dad!" The symphony of energy between the Z-Warriors and the Saiyans reached its climax. Takagami, beset on all sides, struggled to stand, and the skies erupted in an explosion of light and darkness as the heroes joined forces to confront the Dark God. The battle reached its climax, and every move decided the fate of the universe. The Z-Warriors from Earth watched with eagerness and hope, knowing that victory was within reach, but also aware that the final fight was yet to come. With the Saiyans and the Z-Warriors facing Takagami in a cosmic confrontation. However, amidst the chaos of battle, a small distraction allowed Takagami to strike back with furiosity. Goten and Trunks, focused on following Piccolo's strategy, attacked from different angles. However, in a moment of minimal distraction, Takagami seized the opportunity and launched a surprise counterattack. With quick and precise movements, the Dark God managed to evade Goten and Trunks' attacks, countering them with punches and energy blasts.
Ha ha ha! Your efforts are useless, children! I'm the all-consuming darkness!
Goten and Trunks, though agile and powerful, found themselves in a precarious situation. Takagami, with his speed and cunning, left the young Saiyans struggling to keep up. "We have to protect them!"
Takagami's concentration of power is increasing. We need to regroup and find a strategy to counter his moves.
Meanwhile, in the sky, Goten and Trunks, despite the setbacks, continued to fight bravely. They tried to coordinate their attacks, but Takagami's speed and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge. "Trunks, we have to stay focused!" "I know, but this guy's stronger than I imagined!" In an unexpected twist, Takagami launched a blast of dark energy that hit Goten and Trunks, leaving them badly injured. Both Saiyans fell backwards with obvious signs of exhaustion and pain. "Goten! Trunks!"
This damned Dark God!
The adult Saiyans intensified their assault, determined to avenge their momentary fall of their sons. Takagami, however, taking advantage of the confusion and despair that gripped the Z-Warriors, rejoiced in his newly strengthened power.
This is how the heroes of the universe give up. They may fight, but in the end, darkness will always prevail.
The result was becoming even more tense. The Z-Warriors, though determined, were facing the reality that their fight was far from over. Goten and Trunks, wounded but not defeated, were struggling to recover and rejoin the battle.
We need a new approach. Takagami's strength increases with each passing moment.
"We'll protect Goten and Trunks. We'll not let the darkness prevail." The battle, now more critical than ever, was plunging into a desperate confrontation where the survival of the universe hung in the balance. Gohan, observing the critical situation of his brother Goten and Trunks, could not contain the fury that burned within him. A flash of anger crossed his eyes, and his energy rose to levels that would leave even the most experienced Saiyans dumbfounded. He lunged towards Takagami with shocking speed, ignoring any concern for his own safety. "With this price, you'll pay for hurting my family!" His speed and furiosity impressed everyone on the battlefield. Every blow he delivered carried with it a pent-up rage of a protective brother. Takagami, though initially surprised, adapted to the intensity of Gohan's attacks.
Do you think your anger can stop me?
"I'm going to protect my family and the entire universe from your darkness!" The battle between Gohan and Takagami unleashed an energy storm in space. Goku and Vegeta watched in awe and fear as the conflict reached levels that defied comprehension. Despite their determination, they realized they were facing a power beyond anything they had faced before. "This kid, his power is amazing!"
We can't let Gohan fight alone. We must support him.
As Gohan continued his relentless assault, Takagami showed a significant improvement in his defensive ability. Every blow was met with inhuman prowess. The battle reached a point where the universe itself seemed to be on the verge of collapse. The epic confrontation between Gohan and Takami pushed the Saiyan warrior to the limit of his abilities. Despite Gohan's bravery and skill, the Dark God, with unmatched cunning and speed, found an opening in his defense. With a graceful twist, Takami unleashed a ripping attack, a blast of dark energy that sliced through the air with a malevolent precision. Gohan, surprised by the speed and ferocity of the attack, barely had time to react. The energy wave hit Gohan full on, enveloping him in an explosion of light and darkness. The force of the impact threw Goku's eldest son backwards, causing him to stagger, desperately struggling to stay on his feet. The dark energy left its mark on Gohan's body, marking him with deep, tearing wounds. "Gah! This can't be so strong!" Takami, with a sinister smile, hovered in the air, observing the result of his devastating attack. The black energy around him seemed to vibrate with satisfaction as Gohan tried to recover.
This is the power you praise so much. You're no match for me, Gohan.
Goku and Vegeta, witnessing the scene from a distance, gritted their teeth helplessly. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment. Goten and Trunks, still injured but recovering, were prepared to rejoin the fight.
Gohan! This damned, we can't let this continue.
Goten and Trunks, sensing the urgency of the situation, approached Gohan to help him. Despite his own injuries, determination shone in his eyes. "Brother, are you alright?" "Yes, but we need a new approach. We're not going to let this guy get away with this." Meanwhile, Piccolo and the other Z Warriors were also assessing the situation, looking for any opportunity to change the course of the battle. The pressure on them was mounting, and the need to find an effective strategy was becoming more apparent.
We have to work together. Gohan, can you keep fighting?
Gohan nodded, ignoring the pain coursing through his body. His determination had not dulled, on the contrary. Takagami's imminent threat stoked it. "I can't give up, but we need a strategy, something that could surprise him."
Surprise him, you say?
As the Z Warriors immersed themselves in strategy to counter Takagami, a small distraction took over the battlefield. Goten and Trunks, aware of the need of a different approach, exchanged determined glances. Without saying a word, they assumed the familiar fusion dance stance. The other warriors, immersed in their tactics, barely noticed the sudden disappearance of Goten and Trunks as they performed the fusion. The energy around them condensed into a brilliant flash that revealed Gotenks, Super Saiyan, the powerful fusion of the two young Saiyans. "Ready to give this guy a surprise!" With impressive speed, Gotenks launched himself towards Takagami, who was momentarily startled by the new presence on the battlefield. Gotenks, with his characteristic air of self-sufficiency, began to unleash a series of swift and agile attacks, challenging the Dark God with renewed energy. "Here I come!" Takagami, however, far from being intimidated, smiled sinisterly. With a casual gesture, he deflected Gotenks' attacks as if toying with him.
Is that all you've got, you little fused insect?
Gotenks persisted, intensifying his attacks, trying to find an opening in Takagami's defense. However, the Dark God, with a graceful move, countered each blow with ease. "Come on! It can't be!" In the moment of distraction, Takagami took advantage of the situation. With impressive speed, he launched a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gotenks before he could react. The resulting explosion threw Gotenks backwards, knocking him to the ground unconscious and disfigured. "Gotenks!"
This is worse than we thought.
Takagami, now more confident of his superiority, hovered in the air, glaring at the defeated warriors. Goten and Trunks, still unconscious, lay on the ground as Takagami revealed in his moment of victory.
Ha 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 ha! Is this all you offer, Z Warriors? Your desperation only increases my power.
With the outlook darkened by Gotenks' momentary defeat, attention turned to Gohan, who, badly wounded but driven by an inner strength, began to radiate intense energy. The pain in his body seemed to fuel his determination, and a wild golden glow enveloped as his ki reached never-before-seen levels. In the blink of an eye, Gohan transformed into Super Saiyan Phase 3, a form of awesome power that surprised even Takagami. Gohan's hair grew out of control, his muscles swelled, and his expression reflected a mixture of pain and fierce determination.
What is this? A new trick?
Gohan, with a wild roar, launched himself towards Takami with shocking speed. The force of his blows and the intensity of his attacks shook the battlefield, creating a storm of energy around him. The conflict between light and darkness took on a new dimension as Gohan challenged the limits of his own power. You're going to pay for what you've done! Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.